Hey, it's James Phillips. I just want to tell you a little story today, kind of walk you through something that happened to me when I was much a younger attorney. And this is, one reason for you to kind of realize that sometimes attorneys can drink their own Kool-Aid. So in this particular case, I had a client of mine, but his name was Hollis. And this was years ago in court, in a civilian courthouse, not a military case. But anyways, long story short, Hollis had a lot of different charges against him. Most of them drug related, but I had been court appointed to one of those cases. And as a young new attorney, I was fresh out of law school, fresh out of, being a brand new attorney downtown. And I got court appointed to this case. So I knew that in talking to Hollis that he was saying this was not him on the video. It was a confidential informant case. It's like, I never did this. And so when I looked at the video and I went to go visit Hollis at the jail, I realized that there was a problem because his video did not look about it. The guy was much heavier, bigger, stockier, kind of overall. And Hollis was skinnier, face was very thin. And so I was convinced that if I just could show a jury that's not Hollis on that video, that we would be able to prove the case. So even though the prosecution was going to show the video, I thought that it was going to be really important in this case to create these huge ass pictures from the video where I went and spent my own personal money to get these massive photos blown up in black and white in such a way that we could present that to the jury, and I would be able to get up there and throughout my closing argument say, that's not him, that's not him, that's not him. You with your own eyes could tell that's not him. I was so enamored with my theory that I went over and I met with the DA and showed him, and he said, I can see what you're saying, but I think I'm still going to go forward with my case. So I was like, okay, showed him the pictures. So as we're getting ready and I'm prepared, I've got everything ready, I'm prepared to Hollis, I've done everything I can, and the trial date is only like a week away. They had what was called a settlement hearing, and there were other attorneys that were involved in the settlement hearing because he had these other cases. And long story short, he had so many cases that there was just no way that he could plead not guilty. He had to plead guilty because his range of sentencing was so high that he would have gone to jail for like 40, 45 years. And instead, he was able to make a deal for about 15 to 18 years and get rid of all the cases to include mine. So sadly, I never got to bring my winning defense to the jury and show you how smart I was as an attorney. So later, I'm sitting in my office, and this was probably 6 months later, and I, did not clean up my office the way I should. These photos are still sitting there, and I had one of my other clients that had been appointed to me that was also one of the main drug dealers in town, and he's sitting in front of me, and we're talking about his case and how we're going to win it and all this other stuff. And he's going back and forth with me, and we're chatting, and he looks over and he sees those pictures, and he looks at me and he says, why you got them big ass pictures of Hollis there? So I realized that there was a little bit of a problem, and I said, why do you think that's Hollis? And what he basically said was, well, whenever Hollis goes to jail, he always loses a lot of weight. And when he gets out, he gains a lot of weight. So he was like, that's when he's out of jail that those pictures are from. So I learned something that day, and one of those things that I learned was that I should not be drinking my own Kool-Aid and maybe should have used some different set of eyes in order to see what those pictures actually were, because I would have gotten crushed in front of the jury. So just thought it was an interesting story to tell you. Sometimes, the attorney needs to not drink their own Kool-Aid. Got to keep that better eye on your case, and just thought you might think it was funny. So give me a call, 931-217-7648, jphillipslaw22 @gmail.com, or click the link below and we can talk. So thank you.